The ouster was humiliating. Never before had the head of such a large company been treated this way. 4 years earlier in April 2012, the big man Ratan Tata himself had appointed his heir after having helmed the group for 21 years.
After a 2-year search, we have finally decided on Cyrus Mistry as the right man to lead the Tata Group.
The Tata Group is a huge conglomerate of over 100 companies, 28 of them listed, manufacturing salt to software. Having revenues of $113 billion, 8 lakh crore, employing 7 lakh 20,000 people. Cyrus Mistry's family company Shapurji Pallonji themselves are reasonably large, with interests in construction, water purifiers and a turnover in excess of $4 billion, 28,000 crore. They also happen to be Tata Group's largest individual shareholder at 18.4%. The fit seemed ideal, or so everyone thought. The Tatas control all their companies through their holding company Tata Sons, which holds shares in them and thus can exercise control. But the Tatas have seen better days. Though they own and run iconic properties like Mumbai's Taj Mahal Hotel, 75% of their profits come from just one company, TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, India's largest software company. Mistry sought to clean up the group's highly leveraged balance sheet by trying to get rid of unprofitable assets.
We need to show some tough love here on businesses that either need to be shut down like Tata Nano, sold like Tata Telecom and British Steel, or got out of like AirAsia.
Problem was, almost all of these were pet projects of the former head honcho Ratan Tata, who allegedly did not take lightly to his legacy being dismantled. So according to Mistry, what was supposed to be a mentoring phase as part of a handover process continued throughout his tenure with as many as 550 emails exchanged between the two. When Ratan had handed over the baton to the 43-year-old Mistry, he had given him just one piece of advice: be your own man. But to Mistry, it seemed as though Ratan was unable to let go and interfered too much, just like the allegations made against Narayan Murthy at Infosys earlier. Ratan, on the other hand, believed that Mistry was spoiling Tata's reputation by reneging on previous commitments like those made to Japanese telecom giant NTT Docomo.
We have made a promise to protect their investment. I refuse to cover their $1.2 billion loss in India.
The June 2016 decision by Tata Power to acquire solar farms worth 9,000 crore without informing the board of Tata Sons seemed to be the last straw. According to Ratan Tata, he tried convincing Mistry.
Cyrus, the board has lost confidence in your abilities. I think we should meet and discuss a graceful exit for you.
But Mistry refused. The Sunday before the fateful Tata Sons board meeting where he was ousted, Harvard Business School Dean Nitin Noria met Cyrus Mistry for more than 2 hours. Ratan desires that a boardroom showdown be avoided. But Ratan Tata had been fortifying his defenses anyway. After the Tata Power buy decision, Ratan began packing the board of Tata Sons with his loyalists, Ajay Piramal, Venu Srinivasan. In a boardroom coup in May 2016, without completing procedure, Ratan Tata ousted his hand-picked deputy and rode back into the helm of Tata Sons. Rebuffed, Mistry vowed to clear the stain from his tattered reputation and filed a case against Tata for his illegal removal and reinstatement as board member of Tata Sons. Mistry's initial appeal was rejected by NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. But his appeal to the Appellate Tribunal, NCLAT, was successful, and in December 2019, they issued a scathing 172-page judgment against Ratan Tata and the Tata board.
Cyrus Mistry must be reinstated as managing director in all 3 companies he was removed from. Also reinstate him as executive chairman and director in Tata Sons.
So incensed was the NCLAT judge, who has delivered over 1,800 judgments, that
I would have asked the Tata Group to be wound up were they not employing so many people.
The lopsided judgment in favor of Mistry was a vindication of his claim that he had been mistreated, and despite the legal victory, took the moral high ground. I have no intention of running the Tata companies or Tata Sons, but I definitely want my rightful place on its board. But the Tatas don't wish to give Mistry that privilege, claiming he has no automatic place on the board just because of his shareholding. It was in 1965 when Shapurjis first became shareholders of Tata Sons. Only 15 years later was Cyrus's father Pallonji Mistry given a seat on the board. When in 2004 the senior Palonji exited, there was a 2-year gap before Cyrus was invited to join. Since the Tatas hold 66% of Tata Sons through their various trusts, the court order basically views the entire case as an assault on the rights of minority shareholders. However, their articles of association, or in plain English, rules of governance, give it complete power over minority shareholders. No wonder the learned judge quipped,
Articles of association became articles of oppression.
but should trusts have such powers?
Why should Tata Trust, set up for charitable purposes and given tax-exempt status, be allowed to control one of India's greatest industrial empires?
By law, tax-exempt trusts are not permitted to hold equity shares in public limited companies, though Birlas and Tatas, among others, are a notable exception to this law. After ousting Mistry, Tata Sons converted itself from a deemed public company into a private company.
Registrar of Companies ROC must reconvert Tata Sons.
On a plea by the Tatas, the Supreme Court stayed Mistry's reinstatement.
The first impression is that the order is not good.
One problem is that the NCLAT judge gave reliefs to Mistry that he never asked for. Like Mistry never asked to be reinstated either as chairman of Tata Sons, nor did he ask for reinstatement as managing director in the 3 Tata companies. NCLAT's judgment also contains several factual errors, like stating that Shapurji paid 1 lakh crore for its stake in Tata Sons, while actually they had paid just 69 crores. Which incidentally was worth 58,441 crore in 2016 and on which they earned 872 crore in dividend over the last 25 years. Since both parties seem determined to fight, the court should play the role of mediator and nudge them into settlement, which is likely to be more lasting than a judicial verdict. Bizbo's Limerick. The feud between the Tatas and Mistry has got out of hand. The squabbling in courts is hurting the iconic brand. Put ego aside and lay down your pride. Figure it out instead of using the law of the land. Subscribe to Bizbo and click on the bell icon to get notified whenever Bizbo releases a new video. Sources of all our information is listed in the video description section.